Welcome to the RootsCast, the official podcast of Roots Young Adult Ministry. Today's episode was a little special. With Joe leaving the ministry, we took some time to reminisce on some of our biggest moments with God, some ways we've developed as a Roots team, as well as some general friendly simping near the end. For more information about Roots and for some great resources, please visit rootsyam.com. And enjoy the RootsCast Episode 14, Koala Memories.
What's up, guys? Welcome again and again and again to the RootsCast. I'm your boy, Dr. Jarell. Next.
I'm Joe. You can call me Gee. Gee.
I'm Noe. You can call me Professor.
For long.
Never gonna live that down.
Hello, I'm Coach D. I'm Delaine, and I can never introduce myself normally.
Dang.
Yeah. So, wait a second, Joe. You're not on the Roots core team anymore. What are you doing here, man?
Whoa.
Wait, I thought we were gonna address it now.
Yeah, we were. I just didn't expect that transition.
Oh,
The segues.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
No, I like it.
No, me too.
oh, time.
Yeah.
Timestamp.
You are correct,
Oh.
Jarell. I am no longer in the core team. I am in the last 3 and 4 weeks for when this episode is. But anyways, yeah, so I'm not on the core team anymore, but because like God has directed me in a different direction as far as mission goes, right? But however, as that part of my life, God redirected me to, we also as a group of friends. It started out, this RootsCast started out as a supplement to the Roots Young Adult Ministry, but the mysterious being that God is, he redirects us sometimes, and so now he's redirecting this specific podcast to not exclusive to the core team, and so we'll be doing this as best friends in life, as brothers and sisters and disciples. So
Also, we hope to start including more people, having guest people and stuff.
So we're excited to have you guys on this journey. Have you guys be on this journey with us.
So our
We
first guest is
also-
someone who's
Technically, I am.
Familiarity. But we're talking about this, and this was like in the beginning when we started the RootsCast, where we were like, oh, imagine us being like, all in our big V vocations in like 10, 15 years from now, and we're still doing something like this from like different states and everything. And I was just like, what a wonderful way to try and make sure that, we're making lifelong friends, and we're journeying toward heaven together, like in such an intentional way. And now we're just capturing like our 20s. And so now, like in the future, hopefully as we continue in our 30s, then we get to like re-listen to like all of our episodes and see where we were and see how we've grown, and
it's like a verbal
see how
journal.
our friendships have grown. Like people, we get to watch each other just discover our big V vocations whenever that comes in the next few years, and how like wonderful and a testament to God's like plans and works and his connections to people and how he connects people, like
for real. The divine providence is real, But
much
y'all,
excite.
I'm staying for this project.
Yay!
Yes.
It was a project that also was born out of our friendship.
Yeah.
So.
Definitely.
So that's the announcement.
Yes. Thank you, God. Man, when you were talking about like the future of this podcast, I had this like idea, like, dude, imagine if we go for like 40 or 50 years, then instead of us doing the podcast, it's like our kids doing the pod. Oh, dude, That'd be nuts.
Wow.
What if it's our kids
Oh.
and us?
Oh,
my gosh.
oh,
We're
like
not,
a duo.
Well, okay,
we're not even
what would be kinda
reminiscing.
weird-
We're like,
What would be kind of weird is just like, what if we all have just like
Futuro.
multiple kids? So it's just like, is everyone gonna get a mic? It would just sound so awesome and so chaotic, which sounds even
You need a
more.
beefy computer to.
Wait, Dad, I have a thought.
wait, it's my turn. It's my turn.
Or Dad, wait, let me talk.
Oh, when the kids, when the guys go through puberty, when
Yeah.
our little boys go through puberty, they're like,
Yeah. Wait, Dad.
What a great time.
Yeah, man. So in
That was so
honor
fun.
of heck yeah. So in honor of Joe like taking this next step in her faith, we decided as a core team that today we would
As
talk
friends.
about as friends. Yeah. Hello.
I know. I was conscious about it earlier too. I was like,
Whoa, I don't know what happened. As friends,
Okay, transition.
we decided to like reminisce on moments of our own roots that were really impactful, specifically like a moment where each of us encountered God in such a real way. So with that being said, can anyone like to start us off?
wait, are we talking about a moment with God within Roots or just in general?
Just in general.
Okay, cool.
Like the moment, like you like kind of like encountered him in a huge way.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Just
and it doesn't have to be like
in
the
the
first
beginning.
like conversion.
Yeah, okay.
It could be like
because
any
mine
like
isn't.
yeah. It could be any like I saw God this day.
For me, just because it's really fresh, I just shared about it. So yesterday, dang it, was St. Thomas Aquinas' feast day. So listeners, you kind of know when we're
It's fine. It's fine.
But anyway, so it was St. Thomas Aquinas' feast day, and I had shared on social media why I'm really connected with him. And anyway, so I was in Champaign, Illinois, visiting my godmother right before she entered the convent with the Salesian sisters. And they had she had work, and so and her roommates too. So I was like completely alone in their house. So what I did, I don't know why, but if you know me, it's like not that surprising. I was just laying down on the floor, and I was just like staring at the ceiling. And I remember my godmother was like, "Oh, you should listen to Pints with Aquinas if you love philosophy that much." And I was like, for sure. And so I literally, like, the first thing, I don't even remember going through episodes, but the first thing I saw was Matt Fradd talking about so St. Thomas Aquinas is he's the one who has like the 5 proofs of God's existence. And so it was about the second way, which is the necessary being. Don't worry, I'm not gonna go over that. But anyways, so I was just on the floor and I was listening. And or I'm gonna go over it a little bit because I have to explain it. But and I was just listening, and basically, so the necessary being proof is that every single thing, every single one of us has a cause that makes us exist. That that proves for us to exist. Like there's a reason that we can exist, and that's and so there needs to be a necessary being for us to be able to exist. And so when that like clicked in my mind, all I remember, I felt like because I was already like laying down on the floor, I was just like, I felt like I was floating. And I was like, excuse me, because I've always struggled with mental health, and one of the things is that like there's always the war in my mind is always really, really apparent, or was always really apparent and like really strong. And so when that like tiny piece of like knowledge from St. Thomas Aquinas was like engraved in my brain, it literally felt like I was the gateway to heaven was really open for me. And I couldn't believe that I saw God for the first time as he saw me, and like why I'm so important to him and why we're all so important to him. And so because of that, I was just like, like when you expose yourself to something that's very true, it's like you're faced with this challenge of like you either reject it or you accept it. Like there's no gray. And so I was like, okay, what am I gonna do with this truth? Like, and this is something I when I realized, I was like, this is never changing. And so but I found that I didn't receive that as like an ultimatum when I previously always did like experiences as, or like that was my perception of things. It was like more of I felt like I was being courted by God in that moment where it's like, hey, this is my way of pursuing you because I know that's where your deep wounds come from, right? And so like, will you accept me? Like, will you love me back? And I was just like, yeah, like without hesitation, I was just like literally on the floor, like sprawled out. And I was just like, so in a way I was like prostrated towards God too. So I really love that I was laying down. I really remember that I was just laying down on the floor. And that's really the biggest reason why I love St. Thomas Aquinas, because my reversion towards like learning that the power that we have to know things and to learn things it's not disconnected with loving God, right? And so I was like, by knowing I can love God, so that was mine, or that is mine.
Dang.
I'm excited for something like that. Like I'm not yet, and I say yet because I have it fully intentionally in my heart to kind of go down that path, because I think like you, I mean, at least Thomas Aquinas is like super attractive to me because he's kind of he's one of the people that like has really done all the hard work of like tackling our faith
in a
super intellectual way. Thomism. And that's what appeals to me. That's sort of, I'm always like, that was the basis of like my like not believing or like why I was like so alienated from my faith before, where I had this kind of misconception, like many do, that reason and faith are incompatible. And like the little bit that I've grown over the years in knowledge of like Thomas Aquinas is like he embodies how like, no, dude, that's faith and reason are like, they are completely compatible and very much support each other. And like, I just love that experience for you, because I'm looking forward for something like that. I haven't actively like pursued a lot of like deep study and learning into that, just because I feel like I'm not ready to do it with 100% intention in my heart, just because there's a lot of other like school and stuff. Like, I just don't feel ready to like, I want to do it in a little bit later when I know that I'm ready to like go at it and digest it in full. But man, yeah, I'm waiting for a good experience like that. And I already like you and my mom both turned me on to Point of Aquinas. So
your mom,
love Matt Fad.
Ooh, also best. Saint Auggie is very like, he's helped me, like his writings have helped me understand STA a little bit more, because like STA can be very, very like terminological and dense,
super dense,
versus like Saint Auggie, like he applies the knowledge aspect and the intellect aspect with all of the like terms and everything, but with his own experience of like how it helped him. And so reading his writings, you can really see like how that unraveled, because he had the same like reversion as like and possibly you know, like where it was through his intellect and thinking that he was brought back to the faith. And so you can see that like how he preached and how he read scripture and all of that. That's why like for me, I love both of them. Like Saint Auggie like really helped me slide into that conversation with STA, because STA is a lot. Like
and
I have to study him, and I'm like, whoa.
And the reason, I think one of the reasons for that too is because Auggie was one of STA refers to Auggie a lot in his Summa, like a lot. That's where he drew a lot of inspiration and like helping him craft his argument, or and so what a tandem.
If it helps you, both of them are heavily like we have to read them in philosophy in class and theology, and so like equally, like they're both very, very much up
the
there.
doctors in the church. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
one of the big theologians.
Thanks.
But yeah, that was...
Yay. I have my moment. I don't know why I raised my hands.
Listeners, Delaine has raised her hand. She's now ready to.
Yes, that is me. That is Coach D.
The audio description.
Oh, that was cute. So I was actually this is fresh on my mind too, because I was just talking to one of our friends about this the other day. We had like a good 5-hour conversation, and it was nice. Like it was very like fruitful. And so I kind of see her as like definitely someone I look up to, like definitely a guide. And so it was Susie. Hi, Susie. And so she and I were talking, and we were talking about when I fell in love with confession. And I have to say, like, confession was the first sacrament I actually truly fell in love with. Like, I will even say that before the Eucharist, because like the Eucharist was like still so abstract for me, that like it took some time. But confession was something that really helped me convince my own heart that like Jesus is really present in the sacraments. I say this because I was struggling for like a good couple of years. I don't know about a couple of years, but at least a year, where I was struggling with like addiction. And I won't name stuff just because like my own privacy and stuff. And but I was struggling, and I knew it was wrong. Like I knew this habitual sin that has like planted in my heart was wrong, and I needed to uproot that. But I didn't know how. And the thing is, like, I wasn't familiar with confession. Like I knew what confession was, but I just didn't really understand. Like I didn't know. And then one summer, I was so tired of being chained down by this sin and these sins that I was like, I want to go every week then. I want to go to confession every week. I want to go to daily mass like right after. And so every week I went, and like I went and I struggled, and it just because I went didn't mean that I didn't fall the next week. And so the very last time I went and there was a priest at that parish who made me fall in love with priesthood, like obviously from my point of view. And so like, it really showed me just like a fraction of like how the Father actually interacts with us, and how he sees us and how he speaks to us. Because this priest would say like, my beloved children, like I'm so, and you can like,
is
literally
it Father
Marks? Yeah, Father Louis Marks.
Yeah.
And so I was anytime I confessed, it was him. It was him, like hearing my confession, and I knew it was him because, you know, like just his tone of voice and everything, and just that like greeting of like, hello, my beloved daughter. Like that's how he would open confession. And like for me, with the weight of the sin that I was carrying over and over again, to be encountered that way, I was just like, this is like only, and I knew this is only a fraction of how God, you know, like actually speaks to me and wants to love me. And I was like literally brought to tears every time, and I would be a mess when like daily mass started. I'd just be like, oh my God. And so the last time I confessed to Father Louis, I almost start crying. Goodness. He told me, he was like, and I don't know if this is breaking the seal, but whatever.
I don't think so from your end. No.
This is my end. So I was just, I confessed, and I was like, I'm so tired of being chained. Like, I'm so tired of this. I've been here all summer. I'm so tired. Like, I don't know what to do anymore. And he was like, just keep coming back to me. Like, if it's just every day, then it's every day. And if it's every week, then it's every week. And we will get through this. And I was like, guys, like I was sobbing, and like I couldn't even see him. Like he was behind a screen and stuff. And like the thing is, like I knew that he was getting sicker and sicker because he's old. And like that was the first time I was just like, this is what mercy feels like. This is what forgiveness feels like. And I was like, I was so overwhelmed. And a couple weeks later, like that was the day that like really broke me out of that addiction. And not to say that I didn't fall after that, but it wasn't habitual.
Right.
And so like I felt so free after that. And then like 2 weeks later, I found out that he passed away from the Blessed Sacrament. And I like sobbed. I sobbed so hard that day because I was just so grateful. I was like, the last time I like talked to you, you have no idea. Like you have no idea who I am. I was like, Father Louis, just like pray for me because like I'm crying. But yeah, there's so many moments, but that one's just like one of my favorite things of like my life ever.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Mercy.
Yeah, I'm crying again. God is so good.
Dude, the heck, man.
I didn't expect this.
Yeah, same. What the heck, dude? Well, I'm receiving like something secondhand from you right now. I'm getting cracked.
Yeah, no, bro.
Kind of taken aback. Like,
That's okay.
I finally understood what his mercy was like. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Shee.
Those are always really, really
Father Louis, pray for us.
beyond time.
Homie died in front of the Blessed Sacrament. Like, what a way to go.
What I wanted to point out was that like, dude, no, I think it's like super cool how like humble you were and you're just like, dude, I'm gonna have that moment. Like earlier, like
Yeah, that was really
that's
bold.
like that's so sick. Like
that trust. Yeah.
I don't know how to explain that, but like, yo, it's like the best is yet to come for you, and you're already so great because God made you his son, and it's like, gee, like what's the no way after that gonna look like? You know, like Joe, I think
it's
that's
just
the
like
thing.
Super Saiyan.
Yeah.
Super Saiyan, no way.
Super Saiyan.
Yeah, it's like
Super Saiyan.
Yeah. Dude, Joe, what I was gonna say earlier was that like I think it's so beautiful that the constant battle you have in your head with like mental health is the exact way that God romances you like every day. Like that's so tight.
Yee.
Dude.
That was nice.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And Delaine, your story is just like, dude, like Christ literally was just like, yo, here's my sacred heart. You down or what? Like
I was down. I didn't know I was down, but I was down.
Yeah, you were super down. That's so sick. Wow.
Go to confession, guys. Go receive mercy.
All right, dog.
Sorry, that was really loud.
No,
dude, no, you're good. Yeah. So actually, because God has blessed me with like so many moments, I was like, dude, which one do you want me to talk about today? And I was actually kind of shook which one he put on my heart. So like 2 years ago, like I was going through like probably like the hardest time I've ever been through. Long story short, at the time, I think I've even talked about this before. What's it called? Like, I was going through like a really tough breakup, and like my great grandpa died. But like, I remember like, dude, I literally just like gave up, period. Like it kind of felt like I was breaking up with God. Like, I don't know, like you know that scene in the movie where like the I guess in this case I was the girl, like when she feels like she gets let down by the dude and she's like, I want nothing to do with you. Like that was me, dude. Like, I don't know, that's how I felt, right? And I remember I even said something to God along the lines of like, dude, for so long you were all that I had, and now I feel like I have nothing because I feel like I don't have you. Like, I don't know, like it was just such a tough time, you know? And when I was thinking about when I was thinking about this, I was like, dude, God, why would you want me to share that? Right? Like, as I thought about it while you guys were talking, it kind of became more clear. And I remember like, I think that like if I reached bedrock during that time, I probably dug deeper because I was like, dude, like I'm just like, I gave up, you know? And like, felt like I didn't have God, felt like I didn't have anything, felt like I wasn't loved, and just all the things, right? Like it was just dark. And I remember like when my great grandpa died, he lives in Australia. My parents were like, yeah, like we're gonna go to Australia. And I was like, all right, like cool, we're gonna go to Australia to go for the funeral, right? And I remember like I remember being on the plane, and it was like the longest plane ride ever, right? And I was like, yo, God, like, I know where we're at right now, but like, there's got to be some reason why you want to take me all the way to Australia. And I was like, look, I'm praying for a miracle. And if you want to do something, I'm giving you a chance right now. And I kid you not, guys, like every day that I was in Australia, I was there for a week. Every day, God gave me like some form of miracle. And I think that the two that like maybe the three I really want to share is that I got there, right? And like we left LAX like at 6 a.m. So then it was dark, right? But we got there like at like 11 a.m. But like 2 days after because of
time.
Yeah.
International dateline.
yeah. And I remember like I literally got there, right? And I felt, dude, I literally just felt like shit, right? And I was like, dude, like this sucks. Like I feel like crap, dude. Like my dude, like we have like a really like he makes the worst jokes. Like he makes like really dirty jokes, and he's like freaking 70 or something like that. Like I don't know what happened. Anyway, this fool, right? The first thing he says to me, like he pulls me aside and he's like, hey, like thanks. And I was like, what? He's like, dude, like on your side of the family, like how much you live out your faith. He was like, dude, like you're like an angel to like that side of the family. And I was like, what the whoa? Like that was like one of the first conversations I had when I got to
just got
Australia.
off the plane.
Yeah. I'm
Calm down.
I'm hungry. Like
Yo, chill, dog.
I haven't showered in 2 days.
I'm in a strange land filled with people with accents. Like you know.
The Kengis.
Man, I remember like the second thing that happened to me was that like it was like the day of like the funeral, right? And I felt super drawn to like, so my great grandpa had like a rosary like in his it's called a coffin, right? Yeah, it's a coffin.
Yeah.
He was like there was a rosary like in his hand, and I remember like I just felt super drawn to like do a decade, and it was like the first time I felt the Holy Spirit like in forever, and I heard the words in my head like never give up, and like I had given up, you know? So I was like, all right, dude, like maybe I'm maybe this is like psychosis, you know? Like maybe I'm just hearing things, right? And like I remember I gave my own eulogy because I wanted someone from like the great grandkids line to like say something, and I was the oldest, so I was the only one capable of saying anything. And I remember like
I can't say nothing.
Who's that? Yeah.
Who?
Yeah, literally like that. Like I remember like saying something along the lines of like, I hope that I can live my life like in remembrance of like the great life like my great grandpa lived. And then right after I went, right, my aunt goes up and she was like, there are 3 things that our Papa Alex taught me before he died. And the first thing was that he taught me to not give up. And I was like,
whoa,
you know? And I was just like, shit, like, dang, God, like, relax, dude. Then definitely the last thing was that I had a conversation with my uncle's wife. And like, I just remember like, I told her everything that happened, right? And I told her what I was going through, and I told her like how broken I was. And I remember she just said like, do you know your worth? And I was like,
dog.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's with these heavy hitters over here?
Yeah. And like
Australia,
literally like,
bro.
dude, for real. Like
They're really down.
What are they eating over there? Like, is it
They're
like
like,
kangaroos?
they
Like,
down,
down
they ain't pulling
under
any
everything.
punches. They're
Yeah.
like, poop, poop, poop.
yeah.
Ooh,
And I
they're like kangaroo
remember,
punches.
dude, yeah. And like, I remember like for the first time, like, I think that the reason why God wanted me to share this story again, if I have shared it before, like verbally, is because like, I think that like the way that I encountered God really is through romance. And if that was our breakup, then that was God re-pursuing me with miracles, you know?
Yeah.
And like, the crazy part though, is that like, I wasn't even fully okay after that. Like, I think it took me like probably like 2 or 3 years to like fully recover after that. But I think that that's like what God wanted me to realize after all these years, was that like, even though to me, I saw him in the miracles, what he's been showing me today is that like, no, like in reality, like he was in the big things every day, like making sure that I only had to carry what I had to, because I was so stubborn, you know?
Mhm.
And like, I think that if that's not romantic, then like, dude, I don't know what it is.
Oh,
Dude, guys, I'm really emo because all of our stories, has components of the 3 theological virtues of faith, hope, and charity.
Oh,
Whoa.
yeah.
Right?
God.
Yeah.
Right?
no,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Wow.
Oh, if mine does that,
What the
I
turd?
want to change it.
No,
Did you say you want to change your answer? No.
Well, yeah, because the one I was thinking of, I was like, oh, is that? I don't know.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, up to you, dog.
No, whatever. I'll just say
Let's
what I
hear
was.
it. Profit.
Wait, were you done, Jarell?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Dude, thanks, Jarell.
Yeah. So, no. Okay. So I lost something. I think I was gonna like make some clever segue or connection to it, and I forgot how it works out. But anyways,
This is
so I
good.
think my big there was a lot of. I was trying to mull over between a lot of different moments, so maybe I'm even thinking of a different one. But anyways, the moment that I kind of selected that I really enjoyed and just like enjoyed looking back on just now was last year my friend and I we were he was in a pretty dark place, and this was kind of the first time I was ever even attempting or like trying to like walk with someone faith wise. It was really weird, strange thing for me, and I literally I was like, I mean, I went in blind. Like I had never like thought about. I had never so much as thought about like doing this kind of thing. But anyways, we have a common interest in music. And something that I learned pretty early on is that like he likes to like write songs and just do cool stuff. Like make like cool songs. And he was really wanting, he felt the hunger in his heart to like write song. I was going to say for mass, I guess just for the church. I'll just say that he wanted to write Catholic songs.
Wow.
And I was like, well, dang, dude, that's perfect. I mean, I would love to help in any way I can. And I love putting like the Psalms are my favorite piece, because like that was like where I first started to play music. That's like my biggest musical muscle is like my ability to look at text, like the Psalms, and like set music to them, because that was the majority of my like service for a long time. And anyways, like, so we teamed up. He wrote this beautiful song, and he wanted to have me sing it, and we even like shot a video for it. And I think Delaine was there actually when we shot the video for some reason. I don't know why.
Whoa, was Enrique?
Yeah. I forgot
Whoa,
why.
wait, yeah. What?
Why were you there?
I don't know.
I think you were literally just waiting for mass or something. Yeah, you were literally
No,
just
I think I literally was just having no way withdrawals. I don't think I was there for mass. I think it was like a Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I went to FNL after. It was a Friday.
It was, dude, I don't know. That was weird. But yeah, so we wrote that. That was really cool. And actually, but the one that the actual moment, I guess, moment, quote unquote, that I was thinking of was not long after. Actually, it was a long time after. Anyways, the same person. We had kind of
sorry, I kind of named him there.
Not written something in a while. But it was getting close to like the Feast of the Immaculate Conception. So it was later during that same year. And I was like, me as a music minister, I was like trying to find music, and I came to this realization. I'm like, I don't know, like any, like, I don't have any like, I don't know of any like modern like Marian songs. Like I know like a lot of like older like like nothing against them, but like I don't know anything in the style of the music that I like to I like to play at like the masses that I usually play at, because they're like kind of sometimes a younger crowd. I like to be able to play more like bad words, CCME sounding stuff or whatever. So, and like I don't know anything like that. And I'm like, well, I asked them like, why don't we like try writing something? And I like kind of challenged him. It was really out of the blue. And long story short, like not only did he write something cool that I helped him write, like for the first time I was able to write something. Like I wrote like a song, a Marion song that I really liked, and I'm like, wait, this was and it was a process that we
I haven't listened to it.
Is this the one you sent me?
yeah that was. And it was like the process of doing it, the way we talked about it. It was just a really holy conversation, and I felt like that was something like, I mean, we were already friends, but like I think those couple days where we were like really like focused. I honestly I think I like did nothing else like those 2 days, but like that was like my main focus is like getting these songs done. Like when he sent me his first demo, like the first thing I did, I was like, I like figured out what the chords were that he had played on piano, and like I recorded myself because he's not really confident in his singing, so he's like, oh, can you like sing it for me so I can like better hear how it's like actually sounds. I'm like, yeah, like I did a whole garage band thing. Anyways, like this whole process, I was like, that was like this amazing holy friendship. And like this my friend Enrique, he's an older person. Like he's not old, but he's not like a young adult either. Like there's an age difference, and just it was God really opening my eyes to like even because I was feeling a lot of insecurity at that moment of like being in charge of a music ministry and just like being a leader when a lot of other people there's a lot of other people older than me around, and sometimes feeling inadequate in the sense of like, oh, I don't know a lot, or I'm kind of inexperienced. And I think that was God's way of showing me in walking with this friend and in just this friendship. I think maybe is the whole moment. I'm having trouble defining it, but it's just God showing me that I can be a leader, like that, like validating that. And yeah. But like writing the Marion songs, like I guess that was the moment. It was like when those thoughts kind of like realized in my head, and I was like, dude, thanks God. That was really cool.
That's so tight. What the
Dude,
heck?
that was so cute. That was so cute to me.
I was listening, I promise. My AirPods are running out of battery.
Like I feel like you were speaking from like really, really the child at heart.
Yeah.
No way. With God.
Also, you guys are so talented. Let me just insert that in there. Super talented. Like those songs.
Yeah, I actually forgot. Like I literally like maybe it was like 2 or 3 weeks ago. It was like 2 weeks ago where I was like, I haven't listened to like the first song that we recorded that we made a video for. It's like on YouTube, and like I haven't listened to it in a while. I went back and listened to it, and I was like, yo, this is fire. Like this is like, I remember it being good, but like I'm like, dude, this is like really freaking good. Like,
dude, I need to listen
to it.
Dang, that's so tight. Oh man.
Heck yeah.
Dude. So what's it called? While we were reminiscing, in honor of Joe leaving the Roots core team, we actually wanted to like reminisce like our time at Roots, like whether it be a specific moment, maybe like character growth, if we had like an anime training arc, like I don't know, like what do you guys want to talk about? Yeah, are you guys ready? Or because actually I think I
am.
No,
cool.
Oh,
go ahead, Noah.
Sick.
Sorry, I'm still an anime training arc.
I know.
Dude, I guess it's I don't know. It's ongoing, I guess, but like the COVID arc, like, hello. I mean, and specifically, I want to like bring out like this podcast. Like I was gonna say this podcast, and I guess I changed it to COVID as a whole because like I'm like as I was thinking about this podcast, and the reason we're like kind of doing this is because I really wanted to do part of it. Obviously, there's lots of factors, but like part of it was like I really wanted to do something in flexing my newly acquired skills. When quarantine happened, I like no, you're not. I didn't receive it that way. No.
But like, yeah.
When quarantine started and like stay-at-home orders started, obviously it was like super strict. And like I shared this in like the first episode or whatever, where I was like, I was doing a lot of stuff in terms of like serving, like I was lecturing, being a sacristan, also music and stuff. And as we transitioned into slowly having more people outside, I had to all of a sudden get really knowledgeable with streaming technology. Yeah, like streaming technology and the combination of this plus at school being a theater major and having to figure out how to like run like not crappy productions in an online format and figure out what's the best possible way to do these things and make them look good. Like when I was like trying to research how to do when I was like trying to figure out and ideate how to do this podcast, like everywhere I looked, right, it would be like, oh, well, you make them record and then you record. It was a bunch of there was a lot of advice of how to make a traditional podcast. So like, oh, I'll get together, plug into a mixer, this was kind of undone really. Or if people did do like, Zoom or Skype podcasts or whatever, I mean, you could tell like whoever was local sounded like they were on a decent mic. And then the other person just sounded like they were on Skype and like talking through to a phone. And like, I was so thankful for the quarantine in kind of forcing me to like up my game in my knowledge that I was able to like figure out how to help make this happen and how to make this kind of production. So I guess that's what that the podcast started through the COVID.
And there's so much fruit that came out of it too. Like just like what you've been able to do as far as like provide somewhat of a sense of like worship for people, like even if they're at home, like that's huge. Like, and even this podcast, it wouldn't be possible without you, the fun that, the fun that we have and the fruitfulness that we experience with each other, but also the people that listen, it's just, I'm grateful alone on like our side of it, like.
Bro, and it sounds legit.
Yeah. And we sound cool. You make us sound cool.
Yeah.
You're very talented, Noe.
Like if we give like 1%, Noe like just knows how to make it like 100 through his powers. It's nuts.
Exponential.
Yeah. Exponential growth.
So good.
On his arc.
His anime. I mean, you do put on the jet filter all the time.
the anime filter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It only fits you.
Senor Jet.
That's so funny.
Man.
Does anyone else want to go?
I'm still thinking of mine. Didn't you have one?
Yeah, but just in case you guys want to, because boy, girl, but it's okay. It could be boy, girl. Okay,
if you want to do like boy, girl.
Yeah, because it's balance,
Yeah. So I think mine was kind of the same over. It's the COVID arc, but I think because so in full transparency, right before COVID, and I'm trying to remember these timelines, but like my brain can't really function as well. Yeah, you guys know my life, so like help me also distinguish.
We'll fact check you. We'll fact check.
So like, so COVID started in March, right? At least it hit America.
The quarantine.
The quarantine.
Our quarantine started in March. But I was diagnosed with mental illnesses back in October. So like, there was not a lot of space in between that. And like the first couple of months, like I was still trying so hard to like keep myself afloat. And I was barely doing that. Like, let me just say, like, I was barely I had to take a step back from a lot of things. And a lot of people were like really compassionate with me. So like, thank you, Jesus. I'm very grateful. But I just felt so like I was in a program where I had to like pretty much like revisit so many wounds and like literally talk about things I had never talked about. But like, like I was in that therapy program when I was like, I want to get better or else like, what the heck, like I'm not living my life as God would want me to, And so if I'm not at least trying, and so from like, I got diagnosed end of October and like November, December, January was like months that I was kind of just like just survive. Like, just like I was trying to be merciful towards myself in the sense like I'm emotionally exhausted because of how much I have to like dig into of my own self on like a daily basis. That dude, like I was just wiped. Like I could barely do the bare minimum of my job. Thankfully, I wasn't in school yet because I don't know what the heck I would have done. You know, Joe was my chauffeur during those months. If you guys like,
Gang.
Oh yeah.
like she was so good to me, and I was just like, I can't even drive myself. Like my parents would have to drive me to work, and it was a very, very tough time for me. And the fact that life didn't slow down with me was like really painful because I'm a person that like does a lot of things. And I like to do a lot of things. And so for me to just like, and I took a step back from a lot of friendships, not in the sense of like, hey, I hate you, but like more like I can't be present to you. And I know that you come to me a lot, but I have to be honest with you. Like I'm not in that space to give you what you need. And so that's tough for me because then I have to trust them in God's hands. And I'm like, that's a hard thing to do in friendships. And so then basically, you know, January, February, I was kind of starting to feel better. Like I was trying to, like, there was some autonomy, kind of just brought back into my life and everything. And then COVID hit. And I was just like, I was just getting back into living. And I was like, but why? But it's been such a blessing because I really got to slow down. Like, although I'm very busy still, like the moments that I get to be at home and I get to slow down brought like expedited, like God, like COVID basically brought me like 2 days shipping healing, like every day. Like it was an Amazon of just healing, like just like boom, boom, boom. And not to say that I don't struggle now, but I don't think without COVID and that's like the slowdown of my life and slow down from people because like
important, yeah.
Being a minister can be very hard. And
exhausting,
so like the fact and so like the fact that, you know, I got to step back and like that boundary was set for me because like, or else I would have probably never set that boundary and like slow down myself. God really like used COVID to really bring healing mentally. I still struggle mentally. I still got illnesses, guys. Like it's still present. But the fact that I'm like able to cope better, the fact that I get to pray better in when I have like those moments and those unfortunate like suffering, you know? And so just that I see myself even more clearly, where you would think like you get diagnosed, you're just like, oh crap, I'm like insane. And I'm like, no, like I'm not insane, I'm just broken. And yet like God looks at me and just like, no, you, like I've always wanted you and I've always known this about you, but you know, like you've always been you to me. And like for me to like realize that and to like hold that in my heart, not just realize it like once, but like to hold it in my heart still now, like today, that's what carries me. Like just knowing that like I can have the worst, poopiest, crappiest, turdiest day. I know a lot of poop synonyms, but like I can have the crappiest day, but like I still hold on to like all of the things that he has brought me personally and intimately over the span of like almost, I guess now like a year, you know? And so I'm just like really grateful. I've had so many difficult days and I still do, but just that timing, I was just like, dang God, I definitely was just like kind of upset at the beginning. I'm like, I was finally getting back to myself. And he was like, no, I want more. And we're going to bring more to this. Like nothing is wasted. Like, and I really felt that during, I mean, it's still going. So, hey, we're still here. We're still here with the expedited healing, 2 day shipping. But yeah, it's been, I can breathe again.
Dang, that makes me okay.
And then all of us got close during COVID. Like best, I know like we were already best friends, but like feel so much more connected to you.
I'm nodding. Sorry, I forgot this audio.
Just silence. Just silence.
Like
I don't agree.
They're like,
vigorously nodding.
no way, rude.
Yeah, and then Joe like joined in and finally got Jarell to come in.
Yeah, Drew.
Man, I got like secondhand wrecked because while you were talking about like November and stuff, I totally had a flashback to our phone call. And you know what phone call I'm talking about, dude?
Oh,
The
me?
Phoenix one? Yeah, dude.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah. And I was just like, I think it's crazy because, you know, like in that time you just shared that like you felt like you were removing a bunch of stuff from your life that was like excess. So obviously you could like focus on like you and God. But dude, I just remember how much healing that phone call brought me. So I can only like it was a privilege at that time to receive like a secondhand blessing of what healing you're going through. And I'm just super proud of both of you, dude. Like, dang, the character arcs.
That phone call is one of my favorite moments in life. I just hope you know that.
Oh, dude, it's literally mutual. So thanks for that.
Is that your reminiscent moment?
Oh no, that's not it.
Oh. Just reminiscing.
That was just like my piggyback.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, I actually didn't realize a lot of what Roots did for me till today.
Oh no.
Yeah, man. It was tough. Yeah. Cause I was looking over my files and I was like praying about it too. I was looking at them and I was like, like what's my Roots thing? And like, dude, I got wrecked. So like the thing I just told you earlier, I think that along with where I went after, like me going through like for lack of a better term, like a ratchet phase, like, dude, like I was purposely like going away from God, right? I'm not even kidding. Like,
Wait,
man.
You can cut this out. No way if Jarell doesn't feel comfortable. Was this when you went to that rave?
Yeah, this was when I went to the rave. I don't mind telling that.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. That's when I went to the rave.
I remember when someone told me that, I was like, I'm concerned for Jarell.
Yeah, like
but
I literally
we weren't close yet.
Yeah, I literally went because I remember telling myself and God, like I was like, dude, I'm so tired of being like the Jesus boy. Like I want to change my image. Like that's such a teenage thing to like do.
I want to be a bad boy.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, like yeah, it was cool, but I wasted a lot of money. You know, and it's like funny stuff like that where I'm like, dude, like, what were you doing? And then I remember like, what's it called? I think it was like that phone call was part of it. Along with that, like just like a bunch of other like small miracles that God gave me. And then I remember like, dude, when Roots came around, like that, I remember like before Roots even started and before COVID even happened on my 21st birthday, like I think I threw a huge party and then like, I was like super duper like I was gone, bro. Like, and then the next day I was like, dude, I can't keep doing this, bro. Like, I'm over it. Like how long are you going to keep this up? You know? And I remember telling God and being serious for like one of the first times in a long time where I was like, dude, God, like, what have I been doing? Like, I'm kind of over it, man. Like, I've been taking this path, but like, I want to remember what it's like to be intimate with you, you know? So like, it was around that time when like COVID happened and then I was finishing up with school. Then Delaine, you just sent me an invite and
many
invites. Yeah. And Delaine, dude, like when I think of like Delaine trying to get me to go to Roots, I kind of think of Tangled. You know that part when Flynn Rider's like, when Flynn Rider's like, and I finally said yes. Like,
yeah.
That's how I feel. But like,
I got it, really, bro.
Yeah, man. And like, I finally quit my job at the time. And like, you know, like, I think I was so busy trying to fix my wounds my own way that I made myself even more broken, you know?
Whoa.
So like, yeah. And so like when Roots happened and like I found this place where I felt like I was remembering how to want to be a man of God. I went to Roots and I remembered what it felt like to want to be holy and the desire to like be loved by God and to love God back and all the things. And like, I remember Intruder, you know who you are if you're listening. I remember I had a phone call with an Intruder and she literally just asked like how I got to Roots. And I remember like, I found so much peace in talking to this person about like a wound I'd been struggling with for like years up to that point. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember her saying to me like, you just sound so at peace. And I was like, whoa, because for the first time, like I am, you know, and like, dude, like, I didn't realize it till today, but Roots, like whether it be like literally just Roots or like Roots plus like something else that I don't know, like God literally used Roots to like just like snap me out of like that person I was trying to be, and instead it was just like, hey, like, are you sure you even want that? And here's what it looks like if you choose me, you know? And yeah, and it wasn't like a fast process, like, but I do think I also got like the Prime delivery too. And like through each and every day, like, oh, and this was like probably like one of the most important things that like Roots has taught me is that like, I remember telling Delaine one time, like I was super like just like upset about like the whole thing that like my heart being broken and stuff. And I was like, dude, you know, I just realized like Roots is a place where so many of my ministry dreams like came true. Like the first one was that like I wanted a core team that felt like a family. I've always wanted to do a podcast. I've always wanted to like be in a ministry that felt like home. And like I got all that, you know? And I remember like, dude, like a week ago, like I was being kind of koala, right? And like I was talking to God.
Wait, kind of what?
Oh, it's a Filipino word. It kind of means like kind of like simpy or emo.
Yeah.
Kind of like, woe is me.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Yeah, I was being super koala. Yeah. And like I was like, dude, like I God, like you gave me so many dreams, but like why am I like not happy with those dreams? And I realized today that like the reason why is because to allow your dreams to come true, sometimes like we have selfish dreams that like, and I think that for me, like it was a selfish dream. Yeah. Like it was a dream that I wanted to happen for me. Like I wanted to be in a podcast because I wanted like to voice out like whatever thoughts I thought were like would like help the world or whatever. I wanted like a family core team to like fix some wounds I had with ministry. I wanted a ministry that felt like home because like wounds too. And it was all this like self-serving stuff. But then once God allowed those dreams to like finally happen, I started to realize that like your dreams keep coming true when you start doing your dreams for something outside of yourself. And I think that that's why like it's really easy to like say yes to Roots in any way. Because it stopped being about like, what about my dreams? Like, what about like what I want? And somewhere along the line of like Saint Joseph coming into my life and like God with Roots and stuff, like somehow he oriented my heart in a way where now it's not necessary. I don't really, when I dream about things, like it stopped being about like, oh, like I dream about this because I want it to happen to me. It's more so like I dream about these things because maybe these dreams will provide an outlet for other people to dream, you know? And I think that that's what Roots has like become for me. And I think that this is like my anime arc, you know? Yeah.
I'm so dead.
I'm so wrecked.
Yeah.
These last 2 episodes, I'm like, a lot.
Dude, when you mentioned like family, all 3 of us were like,
yeah,
we all just froze.
like,
Yeah, man.
No,
in
for
various in various states of wrecked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead
That's
of like
so
being at
beautiful.
Kawawa, it's like at Ka and then Kawa and then Kawa.
Exactly.
We're each syllable.
Yeah. I'm just like right now.
That was so beautiful, Jarell. Like,
Yeah.
I have no words other than I'm just really grateful.
Dude, me too. Like, thanks for asking. And like, I think that like, you know, like, just thanks for all of us for like continuing in any capacity. You know,
yeah.
like,
In all the capacity. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you, Coach, you served us when literally you were on the floor.
Whoa. Hey
like,
now. Hey
face.
now.
No, I just gotta say it.
Thank you. Okay, I'll process that in 5 years. And we'll bring it back in the podcast. Be like, hey, remember 5 years ago when you told me?
I'm ready to talk about it
You're
now.
like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was too koala.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll be in. I almost said it. I will be in a different city.
I want to be the very best that I know.
Wow. Gee.
Gee, go.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Wait.
That was so perfect.
Oh,
No, it was the first time.
That's the
this
first
was
time
just
ever.
The only opportunity.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
Gee, go. I want to know.
Yeah, I'm like really emo because since we're reminiscing and it's like I'm not in the core team anymore, like this is like legit reminiscing for me as far as like Roots is gonna be, as far as the ministry is gonna be my past. Like I'm not currently in it, wouldn't be in it anymore. You know? And so like when you guys were talking, me and Jarell, you and I, we've shared before with each other like about our ministry wounds. But on the wavelength that I'm on with God with my ministry wounds is I grew up like in ministry since I was like 8 years old. And the last like 5 years of ministry in like my previous ministry, like I stopped seeing people the way that God saw them, like completely, because of like just a lot of struggle that like I went through with them. And I didn't realize that I was like making a fool of myself. You know, I didn't realize that like through those 5 years I was like lying to myself that like because I'm doing this, I'm serving God, like I'm this Joe that's just like really good or really really holy or something. But in reality, because I stopped seeing like people through the lens of God, like I completely was not seeing myself like at all. Like I really feel like in retrospect, I really feel like that was like some sort of, that Joe from like years ago was like this clone of just like somebody who's trying to be real, like who wasn't, you know, a clone that was trying to be a real person. And like, so when Roots came, there's a clap right there. But when Roots came, it wasn't, I mean, obviously the nights of Roots were like really, really life-changing for me, but it was the moments where we would like, the four of us would meet every single meeting, because that was the first time I've ever experienced a ministry whose family, but also who just all equally is so invested in like pursuit of God that like any time that I saw you guys, I saw God, you know. And that's something that that was really impossible for me for like a good like 3 years of my life, you know. And I was just like, I remember telling God like this is like, you never gave up on me, and you specifically chose these three people who are like as much as a crackhead as I am to like really heal the parts of me that like didn't want to acknowledge you anymore, and that I thought it was impossible for me to acknowledge God anymore until like Roots came, you know.
Gosh.
Yeah, so like now I'm like extra emo because like not bad, but in a sense of like God really, really thrusted me through Roots, and he really showed me like the kind of heart that he's been waiting to give to me for so long, that I just kept refusing because I had no idea what mercy was and what love really was. And so now that like it was through Roots where he's like here, like take it, like take this heart that I've carefully crafted for you that you want. Yeah.
Gosh. You know, like what just clicked in my head, Joe? Like now that you're not a part of Roots Ministry, you're the first one out of this podcast that's pushing this podcast into that future plan that we've had, like into the next vocation. Like RootsCast just got elevated right now. Like, we just leveled up, guys, because is that not what, what we talked about in the beginning, where we just watch, this is like kind of just an audio journal of us journeying through our 20s and hopefully soon after that. And like, now you're pursuing the next step, like, not to say that's, you're just ahead of us. It's just the next step, it's
right.
Jarell, Noe, and I all have a next step, and we just have, we haven't taken it yet. We're not called to take it yet.
It's not there yet. Yeah.
And so it just clicked in my head, like how beautiful that it is. Like, although very, like sad that like, I don't want to think about the next Wednesday we meet and just, but I won't think about that now. But like, it's so beautiful to think that like Roots is supposed to be a stepping stone.
Yeah.
It was never meant for everyone to just stay. Like, we're not a traveling age group ministry. We're a young adult ministry.
Yeah.
And young adults move, they move into different things and different callings, and you grow into different, people, different body parts of the church. And is that not what Roots is supposed to do? Like, send us out into that? And so, wow.
You just reminded me of like the time the disciples had those 3 years with Jesus and with each other, and they like, and that's what's happening is like for me, like with you guys, and now it's like, it's still with you guys, but you know what I mean? Like you said, like we're really, dang, like I don't think I would have said yes the way I did without Roots, without you guys specifically.
I believe that.
Yeah, and I think I think I can speak for all of us, because I also realize that like in each of our like our own like private journeys with God, like all the stuff that like we've done in like behind the scenes for Roots and the podcast was like my cornerstone. Like honestly, like it was kind of like in line with, whatever we talked about, it was kind of in line with like what was going on in my life. And
Yes.
I got right for a second because I just, while you were talking, Delaine, I remembered the bridge in Unwavering. Send us out to be your hands.
One of my favorite bridges ever.
Dog.
wow.
Yep. Dang, we've started our future plan.
That's crazy.
Wild. That's like way earlier than I expected.
Wow. Yeah. Right, who's getting married?
Say that.
I literally just started sweating.
I do want to share like a really like actual like specific memory with Roots with the intruders too, because like
we're supposed to be doing that, huh?
Yeah, well, like this is where it took us, but there was this, I think like one of the nights where it was like a lot, it was like the night with like the most like people that came. I think it was like close to like almost 30. It's like something like that, 25. And I remember that night, like I felt like I was the amount of like spiritual nuggles was just like whoa. I was like whoa. Yeah, it was one of you guys started the first series. It was that like you sorry. I'm like pointing.
Oh, the Delaine and family.
Delaine and Jarell. Yeah. And it was like, I think it was the second night because that's when like more people came that wasn't in the first one. And I was just like, OMG.
Lols. Jarell wasn't even in the core team yet.
No, that was like,
he was a guest speaker.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He was like,
wow.
He proposed something that was like really on his heart. That was like wild. I remember that. I was like, Who are these people?
Sorry, I'm just so koala right now.
Koala. Hey, it's 11:11. Ew.
Do you guys pray for your future spouse at 11:11?
Yeah, that's why I said ew.
Sorry.
Not to
Unless you use military time, because you've missed it.
Oh, I still consider
What is that,
23:11.
22:11? Oh, 23:11.
I still consider it 11:11.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. Man.
I always pick up my phone exactly at 11:11 and I hate it. I'm just like, leave me alone.
I love you.
It's been such a great year, guys.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
For real. On to the next kind of path for this. Dang, y'all really my best friends.
Dude, straight facts.
same. I was telling Joe, I don't know why I'm telling you. I don't know why I'm saying this. I was telling Joe, I was naming a panel. Like, if I were to ever
she was
get into a relationship, I was like, there's a panel that he'd have to go through. And obviously all three of you are in there. And so I was like, this is how probably like they like each one would like kind of approach
be assigned
him
to,
and stuff. And I was like, I think Jarell, I was like, I think you should be scared of Jarell the most because he would just be so like he'd question with kindness. Like he'd be so nice, but like
yeah, dude.
But still be like, so what are your intentions with my sister? And then like no one would just watch him and just be observant. I'm just like like
yep.
What's happening?
And then we deliberate like a score, right?
Exactly.
And we'd be like,
yeah.
All right, what is it?
There's other people included in the panel, but I was laughing so much because I was like, these fools are really my best friends, and we do ministry together. Like,
yeah, like even if this fool was like 40 or like so like much older than me, like I would be like,
I will say, let me just clarify for the listeners, I am not talking to someone that's 40 years old.
Yeah, I just picked up a random number.
Yeah, I don't think I would ever, but just to clarify, I'm not talking to anyone that's 40 years old. But yeah, it was funny. I bring it up because I was just like, these fools like really, I never, foreseen any of you coming into my life. And, like it just, I mean, obviously we can't really see who comes into your life, but like, like,
they're like, hey,
I met you like how many years ago? And
yeah,
I never would have
like
thought,
50 years. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Joe, like you knew my brother and my
I worked with your brother.
Sister
and your sister. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I mean they're not married, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like we could have met how many times and yet we didn't, And you're one of my old worship leaders' cousins. Like we could have met so many times.
Yes.
I always forget about that.
Whoa, yeah. Whoa. Dang. You've crossed a new threshold, guys.
Yeah. Now we're watching each other pursue our vocations.
Amongst, yeah.
Big V and little V. Dang it. Yeah.
Yep. All right.
All
Look,
right.
I'm not gonna lie. I kind of want this to end just because I'm so koala right now.
Yeah, same.
I kind of wanted to talk the four of us.
Yeah, we can just continue. Bye.
Yeah.
You want to get to know us more later.
They've had enough.
Oh man, we should probably end off in prayer though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah.
Any last minute things?
Can I just say one last thing actually?
I was saying that for Joe.
What?
Go ahead.
I just want to wish like all the intruders like all the best things, whoever's attending, like keep attending, and just invest in yourself and in God. So like yeah, that's all I got to say.
For sure.
I was gonna say, intruders who are listening, we encourage you also to like, I don't know, like even if you haven't gone to Roots, like maybe God is tugging on your heart today, something from your past that maybe he wants you to reminisce. Maybe to just enjoy like
Oh.
period of time of your life, or maybe a different version of yourself, or maybe like a really cringy version. I don't know, man. Like it's up to you. It's up to God. Yeah. Curse you, 11-year-old Jarell. Anyway,
More like
yeah.
21-year-old Delaine.
Even yes. Anyway, yeah, man. What's it called? Yeah. Thanks, y'all.
Yeah.
Prayer.
Thanks,
Yeah.
besties.
Yeah.
Thank you, all you listeners. If you're new or old, if you're wrinkly or not, I'm just kidding. I don't know why.
If
We
you're
love
40
you
or
either
not.
way. If you're 40 or not, please don't DM me,
Bro.
Wow, you just made that 40-year-old so kawawa.
I'm sorry. Much love to you, brother. I'm so triggered right now. But yes, we love you guys. We are always praying for you. I know that, you know, like as we've talked about, like how very personal the podcast is, it's also just to share our journey. And you see that like we all have our personal journeys. We all have our struggles and glory moments. And, you know, it's all a part of, you know, striving and walking toward heaven. And so we're glad that you're joining us. Anyway, shall we end in prayer? We're going to keep it simple.
Let us.
Ask mom to just take our prayer because it's late. So, yes, in the name of the Father, Son, Holy Spirit, amen. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou amongst women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners now and at the hour of our death. Amen. Jesus, Mary, Joseph,
Pray for us.
Yeah.
in the name of the Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Amen. And that was episode whatever that was.
14, I think.
14.
Yeah.
Bye,
Wow,
guys.
we have a teenager.
Oh my goodness.
Yup. That was the first thing
Freshman in
that
high
came to my
school.
mind.
Yup, love it. Bye.
Toy.
Bye.
Maybe I just need to move position this time. Oh yeah. Okay, we're good.
Okay.
Oh, I'm so ready. This is comfortable.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Ready?
Yeah.
All right. Whew. Cool.
What's going on? Also, I'm just really happy this isn't my last episode. That's where this joy's coming from.
Oh, shit.
So bad.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, one, a two, let's get it.